Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start and we'll go over, like, making it, like... So, like, when you're making a new game, by the way, you are actually allowed to have, Grunt Birthday Party, and I would have been your daddy on. But you, like, they're against site rules, but for some reason they're allowed in infinite rules, but I don't know. I'll have them on for this, I'll have them on. What is my cutscene skip button? I use X. Although, like, you could put it on, like, a mouse button or something. Also, again, my loads are going to be, like, really long because... Yeah. So first things first, this cutscene can't actually be skipped with the tool. You kind of, like, you have to do space F. I mean, you could just watch the Twitch VODs. So once you've skipped in, you want to tab into your infinite tool first and foremost, because there is a 2-second time save immediately on starting. So when we load in here, what we're going to do is we're going to reload the map, and what that does is it actually saves about 2 seconds on actual timing method. I'm not going to suppress checkpoints or anything like that. I'll just leave them running. So you're going to spawn, like, here on this thing. Your first grapple is going to be on, like, this little panel here. So what you're looking for is you're looking for this thing up here. And what you're going to do is you're going to start sprinting, jump, grapple underneath, and you're going to slide off of this white panel here. So you're looking for this white panel, and you're going to sprint off and land on that. So we'll show that again. So first grapple, the run, you're coming up, you sprint, and unironically, this is one of the harder grapples in the run. So grapple underneath, land on the white thing, and jump. Alternatively, you can double slide off of this. So if you come up, and you can jump, and then double slide at the end here. I failed it, because I'm really rusty. So you're coming up. I'm also holding W and A. So holding W and A actually gives you, like, a little bit more speed, because you're pulling away from the grapple. So once you've done the first one, the second grapple is... There's a couple different variations of this, actually. There's... the variation I do is I just jump and grapple... I'm actually going to have to reload the map for this. So I jump and I grapple up here. But alternatively, because you have to cut your grapple in this one, alternatively what you can do is... Alternatively, you can jump up here and then grapple like this. It's a bit more of a straight path, but you do lose a little bit of time on the movement. And then for dealing with the next room, what I like to do is I just like to one tap. So I slide 1, 2, and then look for a third. So if you miss the first guy, by the way, you miss the first guy. Like, say you miss him, like, you can just one tap him, look for that guy, and then look for that guy. Once they're all dead, we're gonna grapple the doorway. And there's this brute in our way, which we're just gonna slide around. It's pretty easy. Next grapple is probably one of the harder ones. Let me just kill all the enemies. This grapple is really tough. So as the door opens, you kind of want to grapple this wall. So there's, like, this here and this here. You want to kind of grapple here. So what you're going to do is you're going to run in, and then holding W and A, you're going to look at the wall and kind of swing around. No, this part was not you. So running in, grapple, W, A, and swing around. What you're kind of looking for is you're kind of looking to put the left part of your reticle kind of like this, like against the wall here. You run in, then you're looking there, and then you're swinging around. It's hard to, like, give a visual cue on when you're turning. But, like, just kind of pull yourself around and you'll get used to it. So I killed these 3 grunts here with my tool, but they have a randomized movement pattern, and they can just get in the way of your slide. It's really unfortunate when it happens, but it can just happen. Next grapple. You're going to come up here, and we're going to jump, grapple this lip here. and slide past everything. Those, to be noted, by the way, these 3 brutes are on a set path, so they will always be doing the same movement every single time. So when you come around here, these 3 grunts are going to be in random places. And then you'd come around here, grapple off the top here. I got kind of a bad one there. Again, so, oh, double sliding. Double sliding is kind of weird. So when you slide, you have to, like, land and press your sprint and your crouch key as you land, like that, almost. The timing is weird to get down, but once you do, it's quite useful. So next up we're going to talk about is this elevator here. To get in the elevator and activate the button, all 4 of the jackals up ahead need to be dead, and the 2 brutes in this elevator. But the elevator doesn't come down until you cross this gap. So the way that I do this movement is I grapple up here, and I come over the top. And I sort of sat around, but these 4 jackals will be in, like, different spots. There's also ammo over there if you want it. Like, it's good to have. So the elevator's coming down. You saw I shot one of the coils. So we're going to place one at the door and make sure we've shot it at least once. Then we're going to grab another one, stand back a little bit, and we throw. And you die. Don't do that. I did that live at UKSG. So, to recap, you do this slider in here. Also, alternatively, there's this here. There's that there, which, like, saves, like, half a second. But this gives you a chance to kind of show this off in a 1A. So, yeah, as you can see, as you can see, these guys are in different places, or in, like, where they're supposed to be now. 2's a ledge thing. You can do 2. You could do 1, or 2. I think most people just do 2. I do 2 because that's the way Alice taught me. But if 1 works for you, then, like, 1 is fine. I can't. I fucking can't. Holy shit. Former ledge world record holder, by the way. So if you want the ammo, like, what I typically do is I grapple over. And, yeah, I grapple over and grab that. How many slides can you chain? It is infinite as long as you don't lose speed. Also, thanks for the follow, Web2000. I don't have alerts on right now because I'm sort of doing a live guide. But thanks for the follow. Okay, so that's how that's meant to look. So, we're gonna activate the elevator, and this is more of a ledge thing, but if you want, you can take the mangler. By the way, in this elevator, you have to shoot things to pick it up. I'm also gonna unsuppress checkpoints here. So, usually you want, like, the pistol and the mangler here. I don't take the mangler on easy. I keep the pistol because I like its running animation. So, top of the elevator, we're going to just come out, grapple up here, grab these nades. This door trigger, you just kind of want to wait for it. You can slide under it. First trick in the run. This is the door knock. So I like to just do a double slide across that door. The trick here to do this is you walk up to it, and 1, 2, 3, and on 4, you hold W into the door. So you can butterfly like you would in Halo 3. You can do, like a butterfly type inputs. Which makes it go a lot faster, so you get rid of, like, 1 shot in your pistol. You come up, and you do 1, 2, 3, 4 into the door, and that loads the area behind it. Once it's loaded, we're just going to slide into this coil and move it forward and put it down. More of a ledge thing, but the enemies back there can throw nades and blow this up. That's more of a ledge thing than anything else. Not really something to worry about. Like, through here, you're gonna just jump up here and you're just gonna grapple down the hallway. I bonked my head there, but it's fine. So, coming down, this battle rifle, we're gonna shoot it down. If you can get to it before hitting light's trigger, that's good, but if you can't, don't worry about it. You can just grab it on the way back. But yeah, there's those kind of grapples around the corners there. There's these grapples around the corner. So, like, I kind of, like, run at them, and I grab here, and then, again, WA, slide, WD, You don't need to slide because you're waiting for the door to open. And we're gonna wait for the debris to get out of the way because you can actually grapple the debris and it just eats a cycle. Typically, you just want to like make sure you get enough momentum to jump through that gap. Get another slide down here. Grab your coil. Again, more of a ledge thing, but on Legendary, if you're holding a coil, enemies can one-shot kill you if you're holding a coil. But yeah, we're just going to grapple on through. And we've got our coil. We are going to do a coil launch. So the way I like to do this is I come up against the wall. Now, okay. I want to make sure my checkpoint is pretty far back. Okay. Alright, I want my checkpoint to be here. So, the way I like to do this is I look at this wall. There's this kind of black line. I put my reticle against it. I look up a bit. I drop the coil, and while crouched, I walk into it. And then we're going to walk back and forth. So, you're going to kind of notice the coil is jittering a little bit. So I'm going to walk back into it again. This kind of stabilizes it. So we're going to walk back and into it. Then we're going to look all the way down so that our battle rifle reticle is up against the bottom. And while crouched and holding W, we're going to jump, wait for our reticle to get over the halfway point, and grapple. So, like this. And that is how you coil launch. So, something to note is you're waiting for a sound cue. So if you listen behind me, you're going to hear some chain snapping. That is my cue to do the coil launch. Because there's like all these cages here, which are going to be falling. So I like to wait for that to go off. So if you wait for the chain to go. You were getting faster to beat the thing falling. Yeah, you can actually do that. That's what I do. I literally just YOLO the setup. And then I'm faster than it. But again, like, we're going in. We're gonna back and forth into it. We're waiting for our sound cue. And yeah. You got not bad at doing this fast, and that's even better, because that does save a little bit of time. So, like, we're backing in, and then we are going to do the launch. Direction's a little bit random. Some of these cages don't have collision on them, by the way, which is interesting. But again, against the black line, you kept getting a lot of height. So that happens if you grapple it earlier. So you get more, the earlier you grapple, the more height you get. But yeah, like if I'm grappling late, I'm getting very horizontal. So the reason why is because this, so we're redirecting off of this like top bar here. So if you redirect earlier, you kind of hit the corner like there. So that's why you want to make sure you're doing it a little bit later. So we're coming in, and then... So Nails in his Easy Recce actually gets a downward launch that I have never once been able to replicate. But, I don't know. That's just Nails for you. Also, if you time it just right, you can actually get bonked by that cage, and it gives you a bit of downward momentum. But anyways, ending movement. You need to land here to make the ending. So say you land over there, and you grapple swing into here. That door's not going to open. You need to land on this here. Or you need to be, like, left of these red lights in order to get the door to open. But ending movement. We're just going to slide down. There's some nades here, but you don't need to pick them up. But yeah, that is warship. Is there anything else you want to go over real quick, or are we good to go to Foundation? Oh, also, while you're during your launch, actually, you want to be mashing control, because you're going to lose speed. And obviously, you want to, like, try and lose speed before you get here. So again, closing out movement. Through the door. Yeah, I'm recording, yeah, so I'll do that for you. Okay, Foundation. Oh, I accidentally reverted checkpoint. Mate, you can pester me whenever you want. Like, honestly, I really want to get people into this game, so pester me, pester me. Oh, I keep reverting checkpoints accidentally, so I'm gonna have to, like... I also don't have any sound keys right now, so give me a sec. There we go. Also, yes, the chains have collision. The chains do have collision. There we go. We'll do ending movement once again. Again, you don't need to pick these nades up. But ending the game, you use your tool to skip the cutscene. So going on to Foundation. Foundation is really fucking boring. I need to wait for this load to happen here. I'm gonna go over this, like, I'm gonna go over this too quickly. But spawning in, your first grapple, just immediately jump and slide. Do not jump out of this slide, because we want to land around, like, here. We want to, like, stop at this sort of point here. Because too much speed means we cannot do our second grapple. You also actually, no, you don't need to jump for that one. Then we're going to jump. Can I grapple around here? You're going to need to pull yourself around. I don't know why I lagged there. I don't know why I lost frames. Yeah, can I bonk off this? Grapple and can I get a slide off with here? Next grapple, we're just going to grapple the edge of this thing. Moving your mouse up to get, like, a little bit more speed. You don't want to use a grapple. You can use a grapple here, but it's probably not worth it. Because you want to grapple up here and get a slide. That slide is probably one of the most important, like, ones to get. It's fairly easy. It's fairly easy. But, yeah, it's literally just grappling, looking up. You can bonk your head, but don't worry about it. Like, if you do, you can just, like, do another grapple to get to the door. This next grapple can be a bit difficult, because we need to kind of, like, we're going to grapple this and pull ourselves around. Grappling this, I'm holding WA until I kind of get straight, and then I'm going to slide out a bit. Let me double revert real quick. So we're going to grapple here, hold WA until we get straight, and then slide and jump. If you can, get a double slide kind of, like, along here. So we'll show that one more time. Grapple, WA, go straight, jump over, get a double slide. Next, we're going to slide through here and grab another coil. So we're going to grapple over to there to do our setup. Oh, thank you, Grunts. Okay, I guess I'm showing that off one more time. So this launch is a little bit finicky. So what we're going to do is we're going to come around, grab our coil. We're going to grapple kind of up high. Like that zigzag line, we want to like grapple above the lower zigzag. So I'm going to nuke all AI here. So I can get a checkpoint. My shields come back. Sweet. So this launch is a bit weird. So there's these kind of like lines on the textures here. We want to line up our coil kind of like to the left of these ones. Again, we're gonna walk into it. Not crouching this time. We're not holding crouch. This coil launch could be a bit finicky because we want to grapple really, really late. So we're gonna jump. I don't really have a lineup for this. I just kind of like feel it out. We're gonna jump over, and then we're gonna grapple it kind of late, so that we don't really get like a terminal launch. We get like kind of a mini launch. Because where we're going, if you like crouch, it doesn't go, we'll just sprint into it. Where we're actually going is we're going up there, so we're not going very high. So we're walking into it, and then like if you get like too much speed, you're gonna go like way up to the top, and you're gonna bonk the soft barrier, and you don't want that. What you kind of want is you kind of want that. You kind of want that kind of speed, so that you can sort of grapple up top here and land over here. I'm going to try and demonstrate this a few more times, because there's a few different ways that this can go. Like, if you go a little bit more further right, you kind of get a straighter launch. And then you can kind of bounce off of here. But sometimes you won't get enough speed to make that side. But, like, if you don't make it, then you just come over here, you drop your coil, and you just grapple over. After that, though, we're just going to grapple up here to this door. So you'll have noticed, like, a lot of older runners used to jump through. Nowadays, we just sort of wait for it, and we just do that. We just go straight through. So this room could be a bit weird. You kind of want to assess it, like, you can go left or right. You want to assess where enemies are, like, as the door opens, and then pick the side with less enemies. If anything's in your way, just shoot it. We are not wanting for ammo. And again, you just, like, slide off, and then you grapple up top and swing up here. This next room is weird. These Siluxes are on a cycle, and the cycle is decided the moment you hit a load during the coil launch. I got actually a pretty decent one here, but again, you just kind of want to grapple through. It gets weird because in this section here, there is a point where you can't use your grapple hook anymore. So if I walk over this white light, it's where this white light is. You can't use your grapple hook once you cross it. So what you really want to do is you really want to get a slide before this into the elevator. I'm not going to do it. But say, for example, it doesn't happen. You don't get a slide into here. What you can do is you can fall off the edge and grapple up and around onto the elevator. I'm going to revert and kind of show off a little bit. I'm doing just an off-the-cuff, like, improvised tutorial slate. But say you do get here and your grapple's about finished, you can just back off and get another slide into it. We'll move on now. This elevator is literally just a minute 40 of auto-scroller. Anyone got any questions so far? Any questions you have?
Triggered a response from the ring. I need you to understand. There's not much time.
Does the crosshair change when you can't grapple? Yes. When you're looking at something and you can grapple, there will be a green dot in the center. So, like, I can't grapple right now, so I should be able to grapple on the floor here. But I can't because I've got no grapple. But I can't because I'm in, like, a non-grapple zone.
Just pieces of data cycling until they run out of power.
For now, this is just full game manly.
Around us.
I feel like if people want to learn ILs, they just need to watch ILs and copy them. I'm also just going to get rid of this spike need when I get the chance, because I don't need it. I know, I don't need to get rid of it. Okay, so, exiting the elevator. There's, like, the toddler guardrail in our way here. Even once we do get our ability to jump back, we can't jump over this. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to sprint into it and grapple the wall. Then kind of get a swing around this door here. I like to melee so that I get a checkpoint after this door, because what we're going to do is a bit difficult. This is probably one of the harder sections to do. So I'd just like to do a small grapple here. We come around the corner. And we got a little slide here. So the way that most runners do this, because I'm going to show you two methods, because Zeph also has a method for this. Zeph has a different method for this that I'm going to show off. So the way that it's usually done is we run and we jump. We're going to grapple this. We're going to look all the way forward, pull our mouse up, and then our grapple's going to charge just in time to grab either the top part or the bottom part. I'm going to double revert here before I lose my checkpoint. And shoot a suppress. So, once again, we grapple here, we look forward, we look up. We're also holding WA the whole time. Then once the grapple recharges, we can grapple here. If you don't get enough height, by the way, you can just grapple the bottom here and pull yourself up. So, oh no, I didn't get enough height. Just grapple the bottom, pull yourself up, mantle on there. The way that Zeph does this is she grapples here and swings around the corner and then jumps off of this here and grapples the bottom. It's actually a little bit easier, but I would experiment with both of these and just see what you're more comfortable with.
Yes, it is.
So, moving on.
Power it back up nearby.
We'll press the button. And once this opens up, there's actually a couple of different ways. Nails likes to back up and do a slide like this. But I'm actually not good at it. I don't practice this. He kind of like backs up, he jumps, and he does like a slide like this. And double slides out of it. What I personally do is I pull away from the button and I grapple here and I just do a little slide. We come through here, we're just going to grapple up here again. We're going to try and angle ourselves to get a slide to this end of the room. And this door will open. Next up is another couple of tougher grapples. What we're going to do is... So what we're going to do, we're going to run up and we're going to grapple the underside. And kind of like before, we're going to look forward and then pull ourselves up again. So we land kind of around here. Then once we're down, we can just grapple around again. We're going to grab this ammo here. We want this ammo, and we want these nades. These nades are going to be used in the boss fight. Next grapple is kind of the same principle. What we're going to do is we're going to jump, and we're going to grapple the black line. I actually did that wrong. I'm going to redo this. So what you're looking for is you want to grapple this black line here. So, and once again, same kind of thing. And once again, we're going to grapple the black line, and we're going to try and get a slide out of this. Because we want to hit this door trigger as early as possible. It's just before this line here. But yeah, we want to hit this ASAP. And we'll do another slide through this hallway. Yeah, another slide kind of off the top here. There is... that grunt is a loot... We call it a loot goblin, because it's a goblin with loot. And next up is this grab lift. What we're going to do is we're going to run in. We're going to look at this kind of middle rung here. On Legendary, you need to kill this guy, by the way. This guy needs to die on Legendary. Running through, we're going to grab. I'm going to swing ourselves up to this rung here. Once again, we're going to back up and do the exact same again. I'm holding A and moving my mouse out because that's going to get me a little bit more speed. And then what we're going to do is we're going to jump again and do the exact same thing. If you're good at double sliding, by the way, you can do like double slide movement out of there to get a slide. And it just gets you to the door trigger a little bit easier. So once again, we are going to grapple up here. Another grapple. Something else you can actually do is... I fell off. Something else you can kind of do here is... You can actually sprint off of this and... Oh, I actually did it wrong. So to get... You can actually get a slide off of this, by the way. But you need to be holding W, like, the whole time. And I'm not good at that. So again, like, I just do double slide movement. I'm gonna unsuppress checkpoints. Do another couple grapples through here. We need a stone. I'm going to make a checkpoint here and suppress it. Because the end clear is complicated. Get your notepads out. We're going to be here for a bit. So, we're going to investigate Spartan. Skip the cutscene. Right off the bat, we're going to grapple through here. This grunt does not matter for quota in the slightest. That grunt does not matter. Do not worry about him. Just leave him alone. So, we're going to come up here. What I like to do is I throw a nade. Grapple in the corner. I kill this guy. I go for him. And we're kind of looking for obvious kills here. You can throw a couple coils. Get some more kills. Oh, I accidentally, I grappled that. So what we're going to want to do here is we kind of want to, like... We want to get a slide here. I like to throw another frag at those guys. It doesn't always kill them. Again, you're kind of looking for obvious kills. As I'm moving towards there, I shoot these two big coils. These are going to fizzle, and then they're going to explode. So, I kind of want to show that whole opening again. So once again, we're going to come on through. Nade. Pull around, looking for obvious kills. Couple coils. You want to get a slide here. If you can, just turn around and get a kill on this guy. We're going to shoot that one. And I missed. If you miss, by the way, don't worry about it. Like, just forget about it and move on. Coming through here, we're going to grapple this top lip. I'm going to get a slide out. If you can, get a double slide, but don't worry about it. We're going to grapple the seed, and we're going to throw it back the way. So all the while, all the enemies are moving towards. You do not need to use the mangler. So, as I mentioned before, you actually don't need... I don't bring the mangler. I use the sidekick for these. But instead of mangler, you can just 2 burst them with the BR. And that works. So, once we're back up top and we put in the seed, ignite whichever big coils you missed. You kinda... I like to move over to the left here a little bit, because usually this is where all the enemies congregate. Something interesting to note about clears in general in this game is if there is a button that the enemies are guarding, they will start to move towards it after a certain amount of time in the room. So we hit that timer when we pick up the seed. So when we pick up the seed, that is when the timer hits and the enemies are going to start walking back. So once everything's dead, the elevator's going to come. But I'm going to show the full end clear again. I'll show this full clear again. Whoops, I walked over Bonita. So once again, skip cutscene. Grapple through, ignore that grunt. Nade.
That elevator should take us to the surface.
Obvious kill. We're looking for obvious kills. Like, that grunt survived, don't worry about him. As I said, he's gonna move up to the button. Get a slide, he was in my way. Frag those guys. Look for the coils. And then... Oh, you can also nade the coils, by the way. You can nade them. Grab the seed, toss it back. Get another slide into it. By the way, if the seed falls off the edge, it'll just respawn back in the thing. So we're coming back around. We're gonna look for some more enemies here. If you have plasmas here, you can actually use them because there's plasmas all around the room. So once again, we're gonna come over, shoot that other coil, and then look and clean up any stragglers. Again, I like to move over to this side because this is where a lot of the enemies tend to congregate, and the big coil can kind of handle a lot of them. Once everything's dead, I'm gonna unsuppress checkpoints again. So once everything is dead, your mangler or whatever your non-BR weapon is, we're gonna pick up a needler. The most obvious needler is here, and you're gonna replenish any plasma nades or pick up plasma nades. So before this fight starts, I recommend you get rid of any frags you have left over, so that you just have your 2 plasmas and your 2 spikes. If you are missing spikes, by the way, if you're missing spikes, there are 2 more on this box here, if you need them. So with that being said, we are going to do the boss fight. So first, we're going to start the boss fight. And once we skip the cutscene, we're going to press Q. That puts him into this animation here. And that animation is very, very important. Can I not press the button? There we go. So grapple. If he moves, you can just revert or you can adapt. Because you will get a checkpoint after the... So long as you have full shield, you will get a checkpoint after this cutscene. So skip, grapple, 2 plasmas, do a burst of needles, 1 spike and 2 spike, and then one more super combine. So once again, your optimal damage rotation is plasma, plasma, needle, spike, spike, needle, and then 1 super combine. I think my game has crashed. No, it hasn't. It's just having a moment. There we go. So, once again. Grapple. Plasma. Plasma. Needles. Spike. Spike. So, I missed a spike there. That's fine. An extra super combine. Is all that it takes there. So... Again, if he does this, you can adapt. But his movement's just going to be a bit more erratic. Then after that, kill the jackals, And before I move on, is there anything... Would you like me... I'll do that one more time, and then we'll move on. So, grapple, plasma, plasma, needles, spike, spike, overcharge. And then... Sometimes that doesn't work. Just because of where the nades can land, they can do... Spike nades kind of have random damage on them. But yeah, that is Foundation. There is a... From pressing this button to level end, there's a 22-second timer. But that is Foundation. So let's go over... let's go over Outpost. Also, for the record, if you want to just drop a weapon, just hold V. And you'll drop it. That's the default bind. Okay, so, Outpost Tremonius. What we're gonna... Outpost Tremonius, we're gonna open the level, and we're just gonna hop up here. And we're waiting for this lip to come in grapple range, so that we can pull ourselves up. Do we use that at any point? It's an optional thing. You're basically not going to use it from here on. You're not going to use it from here on. So yep, once again, we're just going to land up here. Our first Spartan core is here. You can pick it up. If you have a grapple charge here, by the way, you can just grapple the box and get a slide like that. But if you don't, I'm going to double revert. If your grapple hasn't recharged, what to do is literally just run around the corner, jump, and get a slide. But you want to pick up these shock nades. This clear is pretty simple. I like to just shoot those exploding coils. You want to prioritize your movement here over kills. You want to get to this button ASAP. Once everything's dead, we can open terminal. I don't think there's much else I really need to show there.
Just give me a second. I should be able to get...
So I'm actually gonna suppress this checkpoint. So when the door opens, we're gonna move over here and grab these plasmas. And then once the door opens, we'll just jump through. We're gonna get a slide off of here. And then we're gonna come around here, because we're gonna grab these rockets. If you still have your needler, you're gonna swap your needler for these rockets. And to clear up here, we're going to throw our plasmas. Look for that elite. It needs to die. I like to toss a frag at my feet as I'm coming past to try and catch enemies. Then we're going to come up here. We're going to stop up here and fire 2 rockets. Hopefully they're going to hit the Phantom. So that one more rocket will kill them. But after this, you just want to use your tank gun and you want to use your BR to just clear everything out. It's important that you swap your BR, not your... It's important you swap your rockets and not your BR for this clear. Because we're going to still be using it.
That's the last of them.
So I'll show that once again. So once again, we're going to run over here. Grab our plasmas.
Full of more monsters coming to kill us.
Get our slide. You can also just shoot these coils here and it opens it up. It doesn't save any time. So... You really want to be here so you can throw your nades and spawn kill these enemies. Again, the elite is your #1 priority. I'm going to toss a frag, try and catch some enemies. My grapple snap there, that's interesting. I still have a bit more time. I can go over a little bit more. Yeah, we're grabbing this. We really want to be here so we can spawn kill the stuff falling off of this Phantom. So if you have a rocket left over, you can use that here instead. Like, just go for that brute. Coming up here. Wait for the rockets can actually kill the Phantom on its own, by the way. So these okay, these 2 jackals are quota, these 2 are not. That's very important to note. And then coming across here. Oh, if there's like an enemy alive, sometimes they can fall off and come down here. Or it'll be like one of the 3, yeah, it's one of the 3 grunts. So There's 3 guns that spawn up here. I actually like to fire a tank shot at them because it can just sort of catch them if they're hiding.
Don't answer that.
Okay, so
Find me somewhere to hack in. I think I can guarantee this
is there any? I don't think I need to show anything else off here. So we're just gonna press this button, and immediately we're just gonna save and quit because this is gonna skip an unskippable cutscene. Then we're gonna load back in, and that is it. I personally use auto clamber. It doesn't matter. It's auto clamber is personal preference. So once we have spawned back in, okay, interesting. So this is something interesting to show off. So if you're on this map for too long, that save and quit thing I just showed off doesn't work. What should be happening here is I'll just skip this. We're gonna have to sit through this. Can I speed this up with the tool?
signal's point of origin. This is our current location. This was until
No,
2 minutes ago,
I can't. Okay.
forward operating base. I say was because it's ours.
Chief, what is she talking about?
Now,
Yeah, this is what we skip, by the way, because you can't even skip this with your skip cutscene button.
forward operating bases that have fallen into banished hands.
Let's go over, we'll go over recovery, actually. I've still got it in me. Let's go over recovery.
Is associated with the territory. Here is the location of the UNSC signal I've been tracking, and here are 2 more fobs.
Mark it. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so if you did the save and quit, your game's actually gonna kind of look like this.
Ready and waiting, Chief.
So,
Get on board and we can leave.
starting recovery, we're just gonna get on and continue the mission. Skip the cutscene. And this is going to load us into recovery. I'm actually going to restart the mission real quick. And because I needed to do something. Wait for something. So, this is Bob Golf. So what we're going to... Bob Golf is interesting. Because there is...
We're close to the UNSC signal's origin.
Source.
I beg your fucking pardon?
There's just too much chatter on all banished channels. I keep...
Okay, Infinite's being weird. Okay, so once you continue the mission, you're going to kind of start here. And from here, you're kind of... Once you reach a certain point, you're on a timer.
We're close to the UNSC signal's origin.
In fact, no, we're immediately on a timer. Let me restart the mission one more time. So, Fob Golf. I wish I could slow this down and go over it properly, because this is really, really weird to explain. I want to show you the optimal kill. What the fuck is going on with my game? Anyways.
The UNSC signal's origin.
Source.
Unclear. There's just too much...
I'm so confused. I might inject a save.
We're close to the UNSC signal's origin.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to inject a save, I think. I think mine is fucked. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. This is literally just because of me, by the way. This is literally just because of all the shit I've been doing. Okay, we should be fine now. Okay, so starting recovery. So after you've done your save and quit on outpost, you're immediately just gonna spawn here. So we're gonna continue the mission, and we're gonna spawn at Fob Golf. I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm losing my fucking mind. This is not the way this is meant to look, by the way. I'm losing my fucking mind. So you've just done your save and quit. You're gonna kind of spawn over here. So we're gonna continue the mission. Skip the cutscene, and we're gonna spawn in at Fob Golf. So we're gonna slide off of here. This kill order is like weird, but you're good. Like practice it, you'll get used to it.
We're close to the UNSC signal's origin.
Source.
it's difficult to explain what I'm doing,
An all vanished channel.
but I will try my damnedest.
Keep hearing the tower.
So,
Probably the main structure we
immediately you're going to fire a tank shot at this brute. There's a grunt to his right we're going to kill.
close to the UNSC.
I actually did that wrong. Whoops. I'm doing things wrong. So I'm going to grapple off of here. Tank shot this brute. We're going to shoot this grunt. We're going to shoot this coil because it can kill the other grunt.
Signals origin.
Tank shot the other brute.
There's just too much shadow.
And
Channel.
then we're going to kind of clean up.
Hearing the tower.
So I hit, because if you do this fast enough, you're going to actually skip the next piece of dialogue. So see how she didn't speak there? I actually managed to overlap and completely skip that, so I can just immediately capture the fob. That is around a 3 to 9 second time save, which is really, really significant. So we'll do the kill order again. Tank shot this brute. Kill the grunt to his right. Sometimes he can be hiding. Don't use your tank gun there. Let me do that again.
Origin.
So we're going to grapple off. Tank shot the brute. Look for the grunt to the right. Shoot this coil.
Close to the UNSC.
Look for the brute on the platform. Sometimes that jackal can get in the way. And you can get him too.
All vanished channels. I keep
So,
hearing the tower. It's probably the main
where are my plasma nades?
flew in.
So, the way I like to do this is there's two different ways of... So what we want to do is we want to skip this cutscene. There's a cutscene associated here, and to skip it, we need to leave it. There's two different ways to do this. The way I like to do this is I walk until I'm around here. I look all the way up, and there's kind of like the ship here. So I like kind of line up all the way up, and then holding W, I throw the plasma. I said I throw the plasma. I switch to my frags. I bounce a frag here, and then if I capture the fob, the plasma will kill me, and that skips the cutscene. The easier way to do this is to grab this coil, assuming you don't blow it up, and then if you lay it flat and shoot it, turn around and you capture the fob, and when it kills you, immediately pause your game and save and quit. I'll show that nade line up again because the coil is fairly self-explanatory, but I'll show the coil again. I'll show the nade again because the coil is fairly straightforward. So again, toss nade, and capture fob. The nade method is faster, but only by increments. So practice and see what you're more comfortable with. After this, we're going to we're gonna grab a pelican because we've got a shopping trip to take. So immediately on spawning, we're gonna come around. I'm gonna call in a mongoose.
Mongoose drop off approaching your
As we run towards, we're gonna grapple this tree and swing ourselves up, and just sort of hold E on the way up so you get in the pelican. You want to wait for it to kind of settle like it has here. And once again, we're just going to save and quit. What this does is it deloads the Pelican's AI. So there is a thing called Pelican drifting. You're probably familiar with it because you run Halo 4. It's actually a lot more forgiving than Halo 4's. Also, something else to note. I like to drop my BR here. For a reason I'm going to show you later. But I drop my BR here. So I want nothing but the tank gun. We get in, and if you want to learn Pelican drifting, Alice has a phenomenal tutorial on Infinite Links. So definitely go check that out, because I'll be Pelican drifting here. Because it is $0 in Infinite. Our first stop is down here at Ransom Keep.
Coming up on that.
We're just going to get a drift down and land here. We're going to land here. We're going to try and land next to the core.
Really want to protect their fuel silo.
And grab it and get back in. Then we're immediately just going to get another drift around here. So the reason I dropped my BR
Really raise each silo.
is because of this thing we're doing here. So we're going to pick up this thing here, which is the Duelist Energy Sword. So we're going to grab it. And if you immediately switch back to your tank gun, when you grab the sword, you can get in the Pelican like about a second earlier.
Time to make it right.
Then again, we're just going to kind of drift away. Because our next pickup is their next pickup is coming up here. And it's this downed Pelican. So once again, we're going to stop off. When we get out this time, we actually want to switch to... We're going to switch to our sword. Grab that and get back in. And our last core is over here. So because it's amongst some trees, it can be a bit weird. But the way I like to do this is I come in straight and I land on top of this drop pod. Land on top of the drop pod, jump out. And I can grab my core, jump up and get back in. So next, we are going to go over tower dialogue skip. So again, there's some dialogue in the tower we want to overlap. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to get drift, and we're going to follow the road here. We're going to get perpendicular to the road and fly through. And once we touch the edge of the grav lift, we're going to stop and fly back out again. And we're going to land up top here. We want to land kind of far back, because after the tower is done, there's 2 drop pods that are going to fall here. And if they're close to the pelican, they'll land on top of it and they'll blow up. And we don't want that. Oh, whoops. I actually need both of those frags. Interesting. So once again, we're in. We're going to drift. I'm going to start turning until we're perpendicular with the road. We're going to drift in, touch the edge of the grav lift, and come back up. And if not Alcrovagadoon, sorry, if Chaklock speaks, then you missed it. But if you just hear the horn there, that means you got it. After that, we're just going to jump down, grab our core, and we're just going to upgrade to tier 3. I have an extra core. Why do I have an extra core? It's fine, this is a practice save. After that, we're going to grapple over here. And we're going to come up here. So our grapple's on a shorter cooldown now. Oh, by the way, this sword, the dual strategy sword, gives you just like increased movement speed. So, very important. Get your notebooks out. Under keyboard and mouse, you must have a hold to crouch on. This setting needs to be on. Otherwise, ground pound clips will not work. So, what we're going to do is we're going to line up against the wall here. Then we're going to crouch. And around this kind of distance, you do this with the sword or the tank gun. You're going to grapple and hold melee. And you'll clip into the wall. And then once we're in bounds here, once we're out of bounds here, we're going to fall off that ledge and then walk immediately forward. We're going to look up. And we're just going to grapple up to this ledge here. And to get back in bounds, we're going to go against the wall. We're going to look at the top of this red line, and we're going to do another ground pound clip in bounds. This clip has a chance to not work, by the way. So we're going to mantle up, we're going to move flush, and go back in bounds. So if it doesn't work like that, what you're going to do instead is you're going to pull your tank gun out. Again, you're going to kind of be flat against the wall. You're going to look about this height here, and you're just going to ground pound. And that'll get you in. Once we've done that, we are going to grab... We're going to grab Spartan Sorrel's armor here. And once we've skipped it, the easiest method... We're going to go back out of bounds again. The easiest method to do so is to put yourself flat against this box, crouch, look in front of it, and with your tank gun out, do another ground pound clip. Once again, this can be confusing. We're immediately going to go straight forward here. And then we're going to look around. Grapple up, and we're going to stand around here, because we're on an auto-scroller right now. So where I like to stand is I like to stand here. And once this door lights up, that means you've hit it. So, I'm going to double revert real quick, actually. I'm going to double revert, just kind of show that again, because I was kind of slow there. So we're out of bounds here. Actually, I wish my double revert was further. Oh well. So again, we're going to come up here, and I like to stand on this line, on sort of this line here, and wait for it. When it does happen, just grapple over. I don't have plasmas again. Let me restock. So, Chaklock boss fight. I'm going to... So, Chaklock, to get in, you literally just hug the door and hold E on it. I'm going to make myself a custom checkpoint. So, once you skip the cutscene, the way I like to do this fight is I slide forward, tank gun, 2 plasmas, and a tank shot. That wasn't quite right. Hang on. I should have killed him. Once again, slide in, tank shot, 2 plasmas, and a tank shot. If that doesn't kill him, you can use a sword swing, or you can use another tank gun shot. That should kill him though, because this is easy. But sometimes he just moves out of the way. Maybe so, I think I'm timing the plasmas wrong here. Yeah, there we go. That'll kill him. Alternatively, what you can do instead is you can, again, slide forward, tank gun, throw a coil, throw another coil, and then tank gun again. It's personal preference. But I kind of prefer my method of doing that. Which, once again, is we slide, tank gun, plasma, plasma, tank shot. And that is the tower done. So next is excavation site. We're just gonna slide out. This is kind of a dump level. This is literally just a minute of pelican drifting. So you're gonna wait for these drop pods to come in, and once again we're just gonna pelican drift our way over. If you decide you're pelican drifting, which you should, by the way, it's free time save. And we're gonna get I like to get a little drift like this going towards the dig site. The dig site is over this little hill here. So we're gonna kind of start dropping our height immediately. By the way, for pelican drifting, I have on my controller, I have ascend and descend. So like I have ascend on LB and descend on LT. So I can like raise with, I can only have like one hand on the controller and one hand on the mouse. Because pelican drifting in this game, you can use the mouse to move your camera while you've got a controller, while you're using a controller. So, as we're approaching, you can either fling out by changing seats, or you can just kind of land. We're going to land up here and grab this Spartan core. And next we're going to do excavation site skip. There's a couple different methods for this. The method that I use is I go flat against this drop wall. I look at these flowers and I ground pound clip. Alternative method are to use these boxes over here. Kind of like you did on tower, you can kind of just do this to get out of bounds. But you can also use this smaller box here. Like, I think you can do, yeah, you can use that smaller box. So you're kind of spoiled for choice. My preferred method is to line up here and do this. And once you've done either of those, once you've done either of your chosen methods, you're going to kind of walk off this ledge. Thanks to the sub, Fluffy. So you're going to walk off this ledge, and as you're coming down, you're going to try and catch that rock. You're going to walk off, and you're going to try and catch this rock. I'm not doing very good at it, because I'm trying to explain it while I'm doing it. So you're going to grab that rock, and you're going to swing over. And once again, you're going to swing into this door here. So you're going to walk into this door. Again, there's a couple different methods of getting in here. The first one is to tank gun around here and ground pound. Again, you're holding crouch while doing all of these clips. The other method, you can literally just crouch and grapple the bottom here and ground pound. Either works. I prefer to do the sword method because it's just a little bit faster. I don't have to switch my weapons. I can literally just turn around and do that. To show how lenient this is actually, you can kind of even like do like here. Like there's not really much of a lineup needed. You can even mirror this. So if you land like over here, you can do the same thing. Oh, I fell off. That's fine. You can kind of mirror this like over here. But yeah, that is that's excavation site. It is as easy as that. Fuck it. Let's do conservatory. I can put the controller down now because conservatory is kind of simple. It's not simple. It's tough. Conservatory is a rough level. Starting out, we're gonna try and get a slide up here. If you can get one, get a double slide.
Get me close.
And then we're gonna be skipping the drop wall. This is the drop wall module here. A door will open when we pick it up. What we're gonna do instead is we're gonna bury ourselves in this nuke here. And there's this kind of line up here. So what I want to do is we kind of want to like put our crosshair about like 3/4 of the way up, grapple and ground pound. Sometimes that can happen. We don't want that to happen though. So we're gonna. The lower you down you go, you can kind of land here. You can actually get a checkpoint standing here sometimes. I'm gonna just give myself one. So once you're out of bounds, you're kind of on this platform. You can kind of just tap W until you fall. Then you're going to catch the roof and make your way forward here. Something to note, do not start moving right until the skybox changes. Because if you try and move right, you're going to hit an FBX barrier, you're going to freeze. Good night, Zeph. So once again, grapple. Grapple here. Wait for the skybox to change, and then you're going to turn right and grapple your way up here. If you don't make it up there, you can literally just land on here and then jump up onto here. So, the level differs a little bit between easy and legendary from this point onwards. Obviously we're doing easy, so we're going to stick to easy strats. So we're going to try and get a slide off of here. And we're going to try and get a slide off the top there, because we need to hit a trigger. We need to hit a load trigger here. So when we hit it, we're just going to make our way over. If you miss this trigger, by the way, the enemies will not spawn. Like, the enemies in here will not spawn. We need the enemies to be in here. So to get back in bounds, we're gonna put ourselves into this corner, crouch once again, and then we're gonna line up with we're gonna kind of put our crosshair, like, on top here, and ground pound clip back in. So once we're down here, I'm gonna suppress a checkpoint here. What we're going to do here is we're going to be doing our first coil pinch. So in order to do that, what we're going to do... Hang on, I'm getting DMs. Why am I getting DMs? Alright, let's just retake that. So, you're first in here. Line up here and ground pound in. We're going to grapple up here. If there's enemies in the way, just tank gun them out of the way. We're going to put this seed in here and grab this coil. I am going to nuke all AI. So we are going to do a coil pinch through this door. So the door is half open and we need to get through it. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of crouch in front of the door. We're going to line up our crosshair kind of like how I have it here. Kind of like the leftmost edge of your crosshair against the thing. And then once it's here, we're going to let go of our coil and walk into the door. Okay. Let me refamiliarize myself with this before I tell you exactly how to do it. Okay, that was too far back. Yeah, that should be good enough. Nope. I'm forgetting how you do this. Interesting. Ah, you want to be further... Okay, right. Disregard what I just said. You want to be a bit more further left and walk forward and... Yeah, that'll just squeeze you right through the door. So let's go over that room again. Ground pound in. And we're going to swing around the corner. If you hit, that's okay. I'm not going to worry too much about that. So in one kind of smooth motion, it should kind of look like this. And then it'll push you through. Something to note, on easy, this is one of the few rooms where you can die, because there's just... The sheer volume of enemies in that room is immense. Once again. Grab her back in. And
It needs more power.
left,
Find another one.
left part kind of there. Let it go and squeeze on through. Sometimes you can actually get a bit of speed from that. And that's good. You kind of want some speed because you want to get to this buttons ASAP.
It's coming from up ahead.
So once we're here, we're going to be doing another coil pinch. So we're going to grapple the coil again. And this is glass clip. We hate glass clip in this household.
Or those flying things.
So one of the easier lineups, because there's a lot of different lineups.
Higher?
One of the easier ones is to zoom in and line up the left part of your reticle with that with that sort of bottom corner where I do. Once again, we're just going to let it go, and we're going to get bounced through. The thing you're going to notice, though, is I got a lot of speed there. So once again,
See, you can be
oh,
optimistic.
also, to be noted, the reason we grapple the coils is because that pinches them. So you're going to notice here, like, when I walk into the coil, it's solid. But if I sprint, it's going to get unpinched. So that's why you always have to grapple coils before you pick them up. So once again, lineup is just bottom left-hand corner. And then that'll get you through. Sometimes it'll like kind of squish you out. But the way I like to line this up is I like to go a bit higher. So if you go like kind of this high here, you'll get pushed through, but you won't get a lot of speed. And it kind of puts you to where you want to go a lot faster. So once again, we're going to grapple that. And the other thing with going high is that it's you get less speed, but it is less consistent. So going lower is typically better. This is one of the things where you kind of want to fiddle with the lineup, because it's... The other thing to note, by the way, is that coil pinches are RNG most of the time. They're RNG unless they're not RNG. But even then, they're still somewhat RNG. So sometimes you just will not get through, even though you're using a good lineup. There is actually copium that is based on Master Chief's breathing cycle, and honestly, I kind of believe it. I can't even get back through to continue the rest of the guide. That's how ass this trick is. Yeah, we're squeezed through. Once we fall down, we're immediately going to go back out of bounds. There's two ways to get through this door. There is the normal method, and there's the swing clip. For the swing clip, you're just going to crouch, grapple here, swing into the corner, and ground pound as you touch it. And that'll get you out of bounds. So once again, just like that. The other method, say you miss swing clip, or you just don't want to go for it, you just nestle yourself in here, and we're going to just look down at this sort of white line going across. I'm going to look at the close part, and grapple out. You kind of saw there that my grapple bounced off. If the grapple bounced off, that means you're too close, and you want to back up a little bit. So once again, we're back out of bounds. We're going to turn our flashlight on, and we're just going to hop up. Grapple up here. There's another sort of FBX barrier to watch out for here. So we're just going to run forward a little bit. Grapple up and mantle. And once we're up here, you can actually get a checkpoint for this. There is a freeze wall immediately. There's a FBX barrier or freeze wall immediately above us. Like if I jump, I'm going to hit it. So we don't want that to happen. There's also one like immediately to our right here that we want to avoid. So what we're going to do is we're just going to grapple and we're going to slide. And we want to be really tight to that wall as we're doing this slide here. This slide is rough. This slide is really rough. So we want to be kind of tight. Kind of tight. Then we're going to jump off the top here, which, yeah. Alternatively, if you don't want to do that, you can just sprint, slide off, and just sort of let yourself fall, and it's a bit safer, but grapple sliding is faster than that. Cutting that corner, you can hit it. Like, if I cut the corner like this, I think I'm going to hit the... Yeah, I'm going to hit it. Like, if I cut it like that, even that tight. Just going to bonk. Bonking the wall makes that a lot safer, too. We're going to go back in bounds here, once again, because we're going to pick up that thruster module. So, we're going to use kind of like this thing here. There's actually a few ways to get back in bounds on this. So... kind of like using that thing in the middle there, we can kind of just ground pound like that. You can also do the ground pound here with the tank gun. If you stand on top of this line here, and then aim at it seems sort of in between the big and the small lines there, you can ground pound back in that way. I think you can do this one with the sword. I don't think you can do this one with the sword. You can, okay. So once again, you're kind of spoiled for choice on what you want to ground pound on. And with that, we're gonna pick up the thruster module.
Chief, is that something?
And immediately after spawning, this door's gonna open. So we just want to slide on through. And this is where we're gonna start putting thrusters into our movement. Thruster movement is something you really need to practice because you need to like you're essentially how you want to do it is switch to your thruster and then immediately switch back to your grapple. Once we've got the grapple module though, we're just going to make our way through. The ending is kind of like, we want to kill these brute chieftains ASAP. Because the earlier we press the elevator button, the earlier the level will end. But, like, don't stress too much about it. It doesn't really save that much time. But essentially, hit this button ASAP. You also want to grab these shock nades, because you're not going to have any at this point. And shock nades are always good to have.
Just to kill them all?
And while you're on this elevator, most important thing is you want to grab thrusters. I have an extra core, don't worry about this.
No idea.
But yeah, that is conservatory. And I think that is where we're going to leave that, because my voice is shot. So yeah, you have got you have got warship, you've got foundation, you've got outpost, you've got recovery, you've got excavation, you've got conservatory.